Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Just Jermaine. Yo, I want to welcome y'all to episode 8 of Just Jermaine podcast. Today we here with Justin Pelham.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much, bro. How you been?
I've been good, man. Just living life and growing and learning, bro. You know, same old, bro.
Well, that's good, man. For those of y'all that don't know who Justin is, I'm going to tell you this. He's one of the most prolific producers out right now. I know right now he's in North Carolina. Y'all know J. Cole came out of Carolina. You know, the baby came out of Carolina. Carolina's on the rise right now. And I'm telling you, this man is very prolific at the things that he do. Not only is he just out here putting his beats out there and letting the people across the world hear it, but he's also, if I'm not mistaken, you created sample packs as well?
Yeah. I'm I got into sound design maybe about a year and a half ago, and so I've been trying to go strong with that too.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about these packs you got out, man. Tell us about them. What made you just start doing them, and what kind of packs are they?
Yeah, man. So a good friend of mine, he's also a dope artist and producer. His name is Pat Jr. I met Pat back in 2011, and it's even crazy like how we met and how all of that connect to other things in my life. But basically, we always been kind of working on stuff. I've kind of worked on all his projects over the years. In late 2017, he was working on a project, and he was doing some tracking at my crib.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably like 2:00 in the morning, man, and he was leaving the crib. We just finished the session, and I guess in his production, he used a lot of different sample packs, and so I've always kind of been like, since I play and stuff like that,
right?
I'm always used to kind of, if I hear a melody, I'll just play it, or I'll just kind of make my own melodies. I never really got into sampling before sound design, but he just kind of, told me about like how he'd be using samples, and then we talked about, maybe we should just do a sample pack for fun, and then so we ended up doing so. In December 2017, we did a pack called The Evening Sun,
Mm-hmm.
and it was straight. It was my first time really doing a sample pack, and we set up a little website and we tried to sell it on Facebook, and we ended up selling like 3 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was like $25. So we made like $75, and we split it down the middle, so
Right.
that's more than we had, so I was content with that. I never thought it would turn into anything crazy, but then Pat is actually pretty good friends with a guy named Wes Pendleton, and
Mm-hmm.
he's the CEO of a sample label called Soul Surplus,
Mm-hmm.
and so they actually gave us the opportunity to work on some stuff under their label.
That's dope.
Yeah, and so that's how we released 2 packs under their label called Neo Gotham, like beginning like January 2018. We was working on Neo Gotham. So so Neo Gotham actually kind of took off, and we made some decent money.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like, hold up, we might be on to something.
Right.
And then maybe around March 2018, they because before they were doing like stuff, because they have a team, and they was doing stuff like first party from their team, but then they also work with us and a couple other producers. Like we were kind of, I guess, third party, but we were still submitting work under their label.
Right.
But then they made the decision to only do first party packs. So they stopped working with outside talent and producers and stuff. However, they was cool enough to link us up with their vendors.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went from, in 3 months, never making a sample pack to all of a sudden now we had a direct relationship with So one of the first stores, that we got on is called the Drum Broker. And so, so they kind of linked us up with the owner of the Drum Broker.
Mm-hmm.
And we released, we kind of made our own brand. We got some branding and stuff, set up our own Instagram and eventually a website and stuff. And then that was a year and a half later, man. And since then we've grossed over 6 figures in sales, bro. And God has been doing some crazy stuff, man.
That's bananas. That is bananas. That's crazy. So that right there just showed everybody who's listening, that tells you a simple idea can be worth $0 at the time to 6 figures within a year. You said a year and a half?
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man. So God's been doing some crazy stuff, man.
You got that right. I know y'all was shouting all through the house, boy.
Bruh. Yep. And wifey shouting too.
I know wifey was shouting, boy. You definitely know wifey was shouting. Man, that is so fly, man. That is real dope. And what's the website, man? So if somebody that's listening might want to go take a listen to your packs and might want to purchase a pack, where could they go?
Yeah, so our website is pelhamandjunior.com. And also all of our social media is also at Pelham and Junior. So Instagram, Twitter, you can follow us and just go to the website at pelhamandjunior.com. And then also the Drum Broker is hiphopdrumsamples.com. So we also sell our stuff through there as well, man. So, if y'all want to check it out, just holler at us. Also, my personal social media is at J Got Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Just the letter J and then Got Dreams. So I'm on Twitter, IG, and all that stuff as well. So, just holler at me. Check us out.
Y'all hear that, people, man? Y'all need to go follow this, man. Go purchase them packs. All the beat makers, all the producers, man, go purchase this. Go purchase all of them. Go purchase all these packs. Because trust me when I tell y'all, you're going to love what you heard. Because I done heard so much of this man's production, and it is absolutely amazing. So just whenever you get the chance, man, just go out there and download this man's craft, man. Go ahead and get that. With that being said, man, that's the good part, man, because that's the perfect thing about this podcast. We dive into songwriters, producers, beat makers. I'm trying to get me some entertainment lawyers and some other execs inside of it. The hype men, just anybody who's around it. And eventually, I'm gonna just get some random Joe Blows that just love to hear music and get that and see what they like to listen to. Dive into their head about when it comes to music. But the main thing is we talk about not only just the glory, but we also want people to know the story. So people won't just give up on their dreams when stuff is starting to look like it's not moving anywhere. Because my thing is this: you can be going up, 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 and then all of a sudden the door will slam in your face. What God don't tell you is, I need for you to go up a level. I closed this door so you can take a different direction. A lot of people think when the door closed, they go back downstairs or they just stand there. No,
right.
He wants you to keep moving. So when you keep moving, stuff like that happens, just like you said. The first pack, y'all sold 3, right on Facebook. To me, I look at stuff like that as in God is testing you to see how humble you're going to be, to see if you're going to quit, and just to see if you're ready for the next level blessing that he's about to give you.
Yes, sir.
That's definitely my opinion on that, man, because, but a lot of people, like I said, man, I want people to know the story, man, because I definitely don't want everybody to be like, okay, and sell them the hype. That's what they do on TV. They sell you the hype. They give you big dreams. But I want people to know the downside to these things, man, and let them know it ain't easy. They need to know. They need to know both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely understand. It's a grind, bro. Like, whether it's music or really just anything when it comes to entrepreneurship, man, it's a grind. And really, I hear a lot of cliches and metaphors where they kind of talk about like, it's almost like an iceberg, really. Like most of the work, most of the hours and blood, sweat, and tears that you put into your craft, it kind of represent like what's below the surface on the iceberg, man. But it's just that one opportunity, that one thing. Sometimes stuff you wasn't even expecting, it come out of left field. Really, I believe it's God presenting those opportunities in the right season. But sometimes it seems like it's coming out of left field, like, and so because I feel like me, I've always kind of wanted to kind of make my name as a producer or a beat maker or whatever.
Right.
Like sample packs wasn't even on my radar. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was just the guy was just he just presented that opportunity, and it was just that season in my life, and I could have been like, nah, I'm not really interested in that. I didn't I don't want to do that, but I just kind of I'm always a fan of even if it's something you never done before, just try it. You feel what I'm saying? Like you should try. I don't think every single opportunity you should pursue, but I mean, I think the more opportunities you pursue, I think the better chance you have of just opening other doors, and sometimes God might open some doors down the hallway you ain't even think that you wanted to go down. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I think the problem is a lot of people they might get presented with one opportunity, and either they don't stick it out long, like failure. A lot of people they hate failure, and so let's say they let's say after those 3 packs you'd have been like, nah, we ain't that good. You feel what I'm saying? And never pursued it, then we would never be where we are now. And then sometimes people they might be too bullheaded, and they might stick at something too long, and because I've had opportunities where I did it too long, and I should have kind of moved on to something new, where it kind of got stagnant. But I think it just kind of comes with just staying in tune with God, man. Prayer, experience, it'll kind of tell you like, okay, you gotta be diligent, but then at the same time, like sometimes you have to set goals, and you also have like with now, like since I don't have my little boy, my son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate like time way more than I did before I became a parent, bro. Like I gotta get it. I ain't got no time to waste. So anytime I pursue something or put work into something, man, I kind of put like a time limit or a time expectation on it, so that okay, I'm a push. And if I don't see nothing after 6 months, or if I don't see nothing after a year, I'm gonna regroup and I'm gonna try something else. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because your time is precious now. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got a new appreciation for that, man. So that's just something God has taught me, man. And the fact that I can say, okay, yeah, we made samples, we done made 6 figures as a company, and I think some cool stuff that has happened. Like we got a placement on a Kehlani record. We don't have some cool stuff happen, and we got the opportunity to do some scoring, for a web series, man. But it's like I'm 30. I've been doing music since I was 16, bro.
Right.
So really 14, 15 years of me building my craft, and all of a sudden at age 29, really, all of a sudden now I'm really, really starting to see the fruits of some of that labor. So it's a grind for sure.
You're definitely right about that. You're definitely right, man, because I definitely get it. I understand it because of where I came from and what I built my studio from.
Mm-hmm.
Started off in a barn. I'm just like Google, Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, how all of them started off in their garages. I started off in a similar platform, just outside in the barn, doing what I had to do just to get these records out. Next thing you know, somebody fire up a lawnmower outside. We got to stop for a minute, go back and do some re-recording. We had to do what we had to do. It's a grind. It's a grind.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's a grind, man. And when I say, sometimes you got to put a time limit on stuff, all I'm really saying is like, you gotta I think you just got to have goals, man. I think, if you know that there's just one thing you want to do, you don't want to do nothing else. I would say if that's what your goal is, that if that's what your dream is, okay, maybe you don't put a time limit on it, but on the opposite end, like that, it could also mean like it could take you 10, 15, 20 years before you really, pop off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and shoot, it could be maybe God, maybe God got something different in mind than what you originally thought, man. But I think I think what keeps me going, man, is I had to tell myself, like, regardless of the money, regardless of fame or accolades, or when people kind of recognize you for stuff, man, like you can't, you kind of just got to do it for the love of it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the results will come. If you're diligent, if you trying to always learn, not ever getting to a point where you feel like you good enough. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Like I saw some quote that was like, stop trying to be good and focus on being better.
That's deep.
Yeah, and that it really clicked with me, man. Like, I think I saw it on Instagram or something, man. But it's like a lot of people, they just want to be good enough to get paid or good enough to get a position. And it's like you get complacent, you get stagnant. You make 1 to 2 beats and they sound pretty good. Okay, I'm good. I don't need to learn nothing new.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But if you just focus on okay, regardless of whatever level I'm at, I'm just going to focus on building my craft, and I'm just going to be better every single day. And it ain't no limit to where I'm gonna end up. It's the journey that I'm really concerned about, and not a level or not a destination. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So, that's probably the only little tidbit that kind of helped me shift my mindset, man. In the process of maturity that God has been taking me through, man, along my journey, bro.
Boy, you up here preaching a sermon.
Nah, bro, I just,
I'm about to bring out the collection plate in a minute, boy.
Nah, bro. But, like I said, that's just, I think, and even to touch on my son, man, I feel like the biggest, like when I got married, it was like, it was definitely a shift, but it was more like, it was almost like when we was dating, we just lived together and we did married folk stuff.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it wasn't a huge trend. Like, it wasn't a huge, like, difference in my lifestyle or the way I saw myself when we got married. But when I had my son, though,
changed, didn't
like,
it?
Bruh, like, bro, like, I had, like, I don't know. I just felt like this weight, this responsibility, man, that I never had before. And I feel like my son is probably the best thing that ever happened to my career, man. My life in general, you feel what I'm saying? Just because of I feel like I growing up, I was the kid where I kind of had natural talents, and it's not a boasting thing, but it was like,
right,
stuff kind of came easy to me, so like I never had to try my hardest to get good results.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in school, that was in a lot of stuff that I did. So I feel like, my work ethic didn't really grow to match my ambition or grow to match my potential. But when I had my son, it was like all of a sudden, like my potential, my talent didn't matter. Like, I had to get it because all of a sudden, like we was talking about, but before the podcast, like, now it's about, oh shoot, like I'm about to be 30. What's my legacy? What have I built? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what can you pass on?
I can pass on to him. Like,
I know one
I don't
thing.
know. Like I had to get it. I had to get it together, you know, and really grow up in a lot of ways, man.
I know one thing. A child will change everything about a man.
Yep.
And if there's any females out there that's listening, listen to my words carefully. A child will change everything about a man, not a boy.
Right.
It's a difference. It's a difference. See, and that's what's wrong with a lot of women. They want to mess with boys. The boys they play games. They're not done yet. When you're ready to settle down and you want a man, I'm trying to tell you that man will change his whole entire life for his family. He put them first regardless. But I'm gonna tell you, my child is different. You got lucky because you got a boy. See, me, I got a girl. And I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to little girls, they completely change everything about you. They show you some things about yourself that you didn't even know you had.
Wow.
There's a lot of soft spots that you didn't even know you had, but somehow daddy's little girl will bring them out. I'm trying to tell you, man, you see how you feel already about your son.
Right.
It's different, man, when a kid come into your life, man, and you know you got to support that person. You do. You're not running from your responsibilities. You're taking heed into what you got to do. It is now your obligation to provide for not just your wife, but for your kid. So now you got 3 mouths to feed. Like your responsibility increases. So now your mind flow got to change. Your mind, the way your mind used to flow, you know, I can go to work, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? If I don't want this job, bro, I ain't about to put up with this mess. I'm out. I'm gonna go find me another one. It ain't that easy once your kid get here because you like, bruh, boy, my child got daycare, you know what I'm saying? Hospital bills, all that stuff adds up. So your whole demeanor, everything changed. You even changed the way you talk. You changed the way you walk. Like, you even got your grown man walk going. It gets real, man. It gets real.
Yep.
And by far, I'm in full agreement with you, man, by my daughter when she came into this world, man. It was by far one of the best things. It's definitely one of the best things that has ever happened to me because I knew I had a life that depended on me. You know what I'm saying? God blessed me with her too and said, this is your responsibility.
Well, I don't know how you felt, but it's like a scary thing in a lot of ways, man.
It is. It's a little scary. But the older they get, that's gonna change. But I'm gonna tell you, in a way, I'm glad I didn't have a son. I'm gonna tell you because one thing, you know, girls are much cheaper than boys. I mean, it's so much easier to find girl clothes and stuff like that.
I bet.
But the way this world is today, it is so hard on a man. It is so hard on the man. I know our women out there, they already got their battles anyway. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the workplaces, they got to deal with, oh, I'm doing the same job as this dude and he getting paid more money than I am. You know what I'm saying? They still got a lot of stuff that they fighting. But the thing is, they out here killing us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I already know because because of you got a good spirit about yourself. So I already know you're going to instill a lot of things into your son as he gets older. But, you know, that is scary, man, when you know you got kids out here and how dangerous this world is. You know, I know we fought our way through it and we made it. When I say we made it, that means we got to 30. People don't get to 30. People don't get to 30 no more, bro. Every time you turn on the news, man, it's somebody 29 and under dead every single day. I'm like, I told God one day, man, I said, God, this ain't real, man. This ain't real. Cause I'm like, there's no way this many young folks dying all the time. You don't even hear about old people dying no more.
Nah.
You rarely hear about somebody old dying. Usually say every week somebody's grandparents passed away. Bruh, your grandparents living longer than your kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed.
The way it is out here, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't even designed to be that way. But it done got so crazy, man. Like back in I'm from Ahoskie. Where I'm from, they started playing a knockout game, bro.
It's a knockout game.
Knockout game. If you ain't familiar with the knockout game, this is what they doing. They walking around catching old folks walking down the street and just lay them out.
Come on, man.
No joke.
Wow.
Just laying them out. Old people. They breaking into old people homes now. I remember, man, you can just leave. You can go to bed at night, leave your doors wide open. Don't nobody come into your house. You ain't need to have no gun in your house. Now you need about 4, 5 guns in your house.
Yeah.
You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to train your wife and kid how to use a gun just to protect the house when you're not there. It's got that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I done ran into some situations, man. I was coming out of the studio one night. You know what I'm saying? Wife took the baby a bath and whatnot. I go outside. I tell you know what? I'm going to go out here and throw the trash out. I ain't got time to do it in the morning. Got to get to work. So I'm going to go out here and throw this trash out. I go outside. We'll stand in an apartment complex on the first floor, right there in Raleigh, by the PNC arena at that. So you would think an area like that would be well lit. It's pretty good, pretty decent.
Right, somewhat decent.
I'm coming back from the dumpster. Tell me why a dude on the ground looking through the bottom window, man, a little peeking Tom.
Come on, man.
So I yelled. When I yelled at him, he didn't move. He was just laying in the ground like he dead or drunk. So I'm thinking, okay, I done yelled at this dude about 3 times. He ain't moved an inch. I'm like, okay, is this somebody that's drunk and done passed out? At this point, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a gun owner at this point. So my wife peeked out the window and I yelled again. I said, yo, there's somebody down here laying on the ground. I said, call the police because they ain't moving. So I'm waiting for one time to show up so they can call the ambulance if they needed to. And the dude got up and took off running, bro.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, this is just a peeking Tom little dude. So at that moment, I went in the house. I told my wife what it was, man. You know, one time showed up. We went on ahead and told them. They rode around. They couldn't find them. From that day, I told my wife, I said, look, I just signed us up for concealed carry. I can't be out here like this anymore. I got a wife and a kid in the house. And I told you, it's different when you got a daughter.
You got something, you know you got to protect them, man.
It's different when you got a daughter. I want you to think about something. When you was 12 and 13 years old, you know the stuff that was running through your mind when you were 12 and 13.
Right.
So you think those thoughts that you had all them years ago, there's another little boy thinking 10 times worse than that. You see?
I don't even want to think about that.
You see what I'm saying? So you got little boys out here, and then you listen to the music that they're listening to. It is 10 times worse than what it ever been. Because I'm looking like the Jermaine Dupri, when he said that he didn't like a lot of the female rappers out here. Because mainly he was talking about the mainstream rappers. He wasn't talking about every female rapper because we really got some dope female artists out here.
Exactly.
But he was talking about mainstream because all they was doing, he said that most of them came out of the strip club and it's like a bunch of strippers just rapping. I get what he was saying. He got a lot of backlash from it, but I get it. But the thing is, these women, why are you out here doing, okay, you on national TV doing this? What do you think your daughter's going to do when she get older?
Oh, bro, they don't care about none of that stuff. I feel like I feel like with Jermaine Dupri, he in the music industry, like he should know better than to generalize like that. Like I get what he's saying.
He should have broke it down. He should have broke it down a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I don't get what he was trying. Like he looking at certain artists and. Yeah, it is a lot of artists that came up, you know what I'm saying, talking about, they box or talk about all kind of crazy stuff.
Right.
And, they're not exactly setting a good example for, what I feel like, women should be or what they should stand for. But, I feel like it's up to, it's up to us, it's up to people like you know what I'm saying, like, that's building platforms. We just got to be louder than those people. We, you know, you feel what I'm saying? We got to find the artists, like, especially like female artists that actually represent what real womanhood is. And, you know, they aren't afraid to sacrifice money for, I guess, morals or standards, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it's definitely some real dope female MCs out there, but the money, the dollars, social media, mainstream media, they don't really give them no props. They don't give them that platform to where little girls can look at
people. Yeah, a lot of little girls don't actually see them and be like, okay, I don't have to be on TV shaking my tail to make it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I could just be a dope artist and make it. Hey, exactly. You know, but that's what they put on TV, man. That's what they want. They try to exploit our women, man. They try to make them look worse than what they are, and try to make them look bad, and then at the same time they put in a male's mind frame. This is how you need your women. So all the good women get cheated on because the men is thinking that, okay, my lady at the house ain't doing what these ladies on TV is doing. So everybody has a hidden agenda.
Right.
And they're tearing down relationships. They don't want things to be like they're supposed to be, because right now their platform is big enough for males and females, because there's a lot of dope artists. I don't look at it as in you a dope male artist or you a dope female artist. No, I look at you as a dope artist. That's what you are. You are an artist. No matter male or female, if you dope, you dope. If you're lyrical, you're lyrical. If you're nice, you're nice. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. But what I am going to try to do, though, I want to get some female artists, producers, and I want to put, if I'm able to do it, and if I can get some that can agree, and we can actually have that conversation and see what their intake is, and because I know a lot of them, I've been reading posts online, and a lot of them feel like, you know, Jermaine Dupri was wrong. He shouldn't have said that. But what he should have said, mainstream female artists. Because all the women that's replying to him, they're not mainstream artists. The only one that was mainstream that said something was, I seen an interview with Trina, and she said something, everything she said was 100% right. She was right about everything that she said. But the thing was to hear from her, because she was one of the artists that helped build a good platform for women back in the day. But that's when the lyrics were starting to change over as well.
Right.
So Lil' Kim, you really can thank Lil' Kim for that, because Lil' Kim is really, she brought it out. But the thing was, that's when she was wearing the two pieces and showing everybody, you know, talking about, you know, her box and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. But the music platform back then, you didn't have easy access to records like that.
Yeah. I mean, and I kind of, on one hand, it's like, you know, I don't like, you feel what I'm saying, like the image or the example that, you know, artists like Lil' Kim kind of, because really they kind of, it was other dope female artists before Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
But at the time, and in a lot of ways still, even today, you know, the industry was male driven, male dominated. And so she almost had to appeal to the men in the industry, the gatekeepers, almost more than she had to appeal to the actual consumers. Right. So, you know, they didn't want no tomboy, you know, or at least what they would have considered tomboy female trying to rap like dudes. Like, they just wanted some, well, my mama call them hoochies. You feel what I'm saying? So she had to play that game to get on, but it's different now. Like, now artists literally have their own platform. You don't have the same gatekeepers. Like,
and that's true. And that's true. And everybody don't need a record deal to put out a record. So the platforms is different, but and I know they are going with what's selling, and everybody knows sex sells.
Oh yeah. Always.
So they're riding that wave. But at the same time, you know, you got to kind of watch what you're doing. You don't want to put too much out there. For instance, Love and Hip Hop. You know, just earlier, saying it was an episode on, I think from last week, it was an episode on, and what's the girl name? Carly Red.
Uh-huh.
She was having a conversation with her daughter, and her daughter told her that she wanted to drop out of school because there was some other kids basically coming at her and they were picking on her and stuff like that based on stuff that her moms did.
Wow.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, man, with what you do, man, because it's not, you think it's cool right now, but what's going to end up happening is it's going to come back and scar you in the future.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand it. But you know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good, man. But hopefully one day they can get a full understanding on how important it is for you to be able to carry yourself the way that you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So and that's big with me. That's big with me. That's why I carry myself very well. And I talk to my wife about a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, when my baby get older, I want to lead her in a direction that I know for a fact that would be presentable to anybody. Because if you got to understand, a woman puts herself out a certain way, she's going to attract those same type of men. And they end up being the ones that end up for domestic violence. They out here, they own drugs or they selling drugs. But that's what you attracting based on what you're doing. You want something, right. You want something different, do something different.
Yeah. I mean, but I think as men, and I think society, I think tries to diminish the role of man in the family. But I think as men, as leaders, we kind of got to set the tone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why I respect, so much. You feel what I'm saying? Like the responsibility and the weight that you place on your role as a father and a husband, because
right.
You know when your daughter grow up, she gonna know what a real man is.
Right. And I'm gonna make sure of that.
Yeah, she ain't gonna accept nothing less. Like she ain't got to worry about, okay, I got low self-esteem. As soon as a little boy say, "Oh, you pretty," oh, okay, I like him, even though he hit me upside the head. He think I'm pretty. Like, nah, my daddy told me I'm beautiful.
Right. Like, he tell me that all the time.
Yeah, what you mean? Like, okay, I know I'm pretty. Tell me something new. Tell me something I don't know.
Right.
Show me something real. You feel what I'm saying?
Like when my daughter get older, yeah, I'm gonna carry my daughter on dates.
Yes,
movie dates, food dates, different places. And the reason why I say that, because I know I was once a little boy, and I know how their minds go. So therefore, I'm gonna carry my daughter on those same type of dates, and I'm gonna say, hey, you go on a date with a little young fella, if he don't treat you better than what I'm doing you at this particular place like this, you don't need him. And I'm going to give her multiple examples so she can see any kind of way and anything coming from. I'm going to run her the whole game. What he going to say, how he going to say it, and why he going to say it. I'm not playing no games, because what I'm building, what I'm working on right now is making sure that her self-esteem is up, like her mom's does a wonderful job and dressing her up, like a little girl. They in there she watches her mom do makeup and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't allow her to wear makeup right now because she's way too young.
Right.
Way too young. Right. When she gets older, you know how father think. When she get 25, 30, she can put it on or whatever, But
you said 25, 30? Okay.
But you know how father, you know how we think, especially when it comes to the girls, man. But I want her to understand the world, and I want her to know it. I'm not going to hold her back. And you also got to allow, I know as bad as it hurts, sometimes you got to allow your kids to make mistakes.
That's true.
You got to allow them to make mistakes, but at the same time, you still there. Just like God is. He watches us make mistakes all the time. But he's still there. He won't let us die. He like, I ain't going to let it kill you. Just like with Job. You think about the story with Job. You told what he tells Satan. You can do whatever you want to do to him, but you can't take his life. He took everything from Job.
bruh.
Everything.
Yeah.
And look what
He's
happened.
He's still faithful, man.
He kept that faith. He kept it.
Yep.
That's so important. Well, Justin,
Yes,
man, I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you being part of this podcast, man, and welcoming our people into your life story, man. Just sharing some things with us. I know the pros, the cons, everything. And I really, really appreciate you being up here.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate the invite. It's an honor, and anytime you need me, just holler at me, man. You know where to find me, bro.
I'm definitely gonna do that because I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna head to I'm gonna see if I can get Siobhan and Jarrell and everybody, man. Because all of us, we all be in the studio at the same time. But another thing that we have in common is that we're all married and we all have kids. So It's gonna be some interesting conversation, I think, that we're gonna have on that call. So I'm gonna have to set that up. I'm gonna see what schedule works for everybody. And matter of fact, I'm gonna send all three of y'all a group message around here shortly, and I'm gonna see what works because I definitely want all y'all to be part of that conversation because all of us to be in, like the way that we are. We all fathers. We all love music. We all love Christ, and why not have a great conversation like that? Because the fatherhood that we show towards our kids, I think we are some of the best fathers in the world. And I know I got a couple more homies that's out there. That's my boy Demo, my boy Hot, Kareem. There's guys I grew up with, and they're in their children's lives as much as possible all the time. They go somewhere, they right there. You know what I'm saying? If my child, like my boy Demo, his daughter playing soccer, he right there. You know what I'm saying? Kareem, Hot, they got their kids into a lot of things and they right there every chance they possibly get. I know sometimes, daddy got to go to work sometimes, so they can't be all the time because daddy still got to pay them bills. But I respect those guys so much. And I think my boy X just had a baby, and shouts out to him, man. I really want to appreciate him, man, because he's in the Air Force, man. So he's serving right now for the country. So if he's listening, man, I definitely want to tell him I appreciate your service.
Man, salute.
Yeah, man, because I'm definitely proud of all the guys that I know, man, because I think I chose to hang around a lot of good men because we love our kids and we just refuse not to be in their lives, and we refuse to let the world show them the way. And that's what I love about my crew. So with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody taking a listen, and keep your ears open, keep your eyes closed. And a lot of y'all won't understand it, but the true ones do. Peace.